the White House press secretary, in a rare appearance on television, Stephanie Grisham, basically said almost the same thing while calling him a boomer, pretty much, which is always fun for us, And I went through a similar thing like you're talking about when I needed to stay in constant connection when I was at, the peak of my career in the executive side. I had my, the last of the Blackberries. That was the phone I had to have at all times for emails. And then I had the work iPad, and then I had my personal iPhone, but I hooked up the mail server through there as well, so that no matter what happened, I would always have, if I lost one or I was in a different place, I would always have that. Certainly I wouldn't be signed into Twitter like on the work one and not another. And frankly, the only time I was signed in Twitter at all, because back then, we're talking about 13, 14 here, 12, 13, 14. So I wasn't even on Twitter. What I just needed access to was our agency Twitter. I needed the password in case the secretary would check it out. And if he didn't like something, he thought it was like too hippie-ish, he would just ask me to delete it. So I would have access to the Facebook, Twitter, whatever we were doing. And I'd just delete, whatever some asshole in our PR department was doing. So, but I think with a guy like Boomer, what's called Bolton Boomer, he definitely probably had a device. You've seen him. I've seen him a couple times in person. I mean, this guy is like a classic example of the tweed patch jacket, the absent-minded professor, too cheap to get a haircut, and looks like he eats lunch and then has dinner with whatever's left in that mustache. And so I totally back your assertion that he just did. And then he wanted to like drag some drama in there, which is just kind of weird. And a lot of people said, oh my God, this is the harbinger of doom. Oh, he's got a book deal. He's got this and that. He's also got a hell of an NDA. As far as NDAs are concerned, you don't just sign your boilerplate NDA when you're the national security advisor. And certainly he has the duty to follow the president's wishes on executive privilege. So he can't just decide tomorrow he's going to go talk to Jerry Nadler because the courts may, it's already before the courts, but the courts may actually shut him down until they realize what's really going on here. So I'm not really worried about what he's going to say in the next. And there's another problem, Glenn, for Nancy Pelosi. That's what I was talking about earlier, is like, even if John Bolton says, I'll tell you, I'll fill in the gaps for you, how's he going to get around the federal court system? And, and Pompeo, even if he says, you know what, this is a big headache, I'm going to go run for Senate in Kansas, doesn't mean he's freed up to go before, fat Jerry Nadler and start, singing like a canary. No, these people are covered under decades and decades and decades of asserted executive privilege that have been upheld by the court, right? It's more or less paperwork and information that the courts are more likely to defer to Congress over the president. And they are withholding certain things from the Department of State. And the Department of State will wait till the court actually demands that they turn certain information over. And then, much like I did when I worked for the government, you turn over about an eighth of what they requested and call it too broad. And then they have to go back to court to get the rest of it. And then you say, well, we need 30 days to find it. I mean, it's the same shit they did to us with Fast and Furious, Benghazi, the IRS fiasco during Obama. It's been done before. It'll be done again. And there's just no time. This half-assed process either comes to an end before Christmas and sent over to the Senate, where it's open season on the Democrats and anybody involved with this issue, or they suck it up, do the censure, because it's pretty big news, man. We're talking about Andrew Jackson, and that's pretty much it as far as a successful censure resolution passed against the president. You could make some hay out of that with the friendly media, but the way that these rabid,
I don't think their base is
liberals are these days,
right.
I don't think that's going to cut it.
Thanks for watching the MAGA Coalition channel. Remember to subscribe to our channel and turn notifications on to get the best political analysis that is free of clickbait and gaslighting. Because in a world of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.